How's it going, everybody? It's Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. So today I will be doing a video on one of my personal favorite layer ones, that being SEI. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done an update on this coin, and I do think that it is at a very interesting price at these current levels. So I will be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about a very important catalyst later on in this video that I believe will drive Bitcoin and crypto higher in the next couple of weeks. And last but not least, guys, this is a brand new YouTube channel, so I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's take a look at the overall crypto market. So as you guys can see, we have had quite a bit of weakness enter the market yet again today. As you can see, Bitcoin is unfortunately back down to 86,000, and it is down nearly 3% in the past 24 hours. We also have Ethereum back under $3,000, trading at 2,950, and that is down almost 4% in the past 24 hours. And Solana is back under 130, trading at $126. So guys, in my opinion, the reason why we've seen so much weakness in the market today is because of the Japanese carry trade concerns. As most of you know, the Bank of Japan is set to hike rates on Thursday of this week, and there is currently a 98% likelihood that that will happen. Now, in my opinion, guys, I believe this is going to be a sell the rumor, buy the news event, and I do think that it is very likely that crypto most likely recovers quickly on Thursday or Friday once the news is official and people realize that the fears are overblown with this whole situation. So I'm not overly concerned with the pullback that we're experiencing today, and if we continue to have this pullback leading into Thursday, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. But in my opinion, guys, this is just short-term noise, and we will get through this just like we get through everything else in the crypto market. But alright guys, let's take a look at SEI. So as you guys can see, we are trading just under 12 cents, and we currently have a market cap of 770 million. The 24-hour trading volume remains very strong on this coin at 75 million. Considering that we have under a $1 billion market cap and nearly $100 million in 24-hour trading volume, even during this bearish period, is definitely a good sign for this project. Also, we have about 65% of the tokens in circulation for this coin, which is not amazing, but at the same time, it's not that bad for a layer 1 project. Like, for example, SUI only has like 40%, and a lot of other layer 1s are around that area as well. So overall, guys, I am very bullish on this project in the medium to long term. Of course, that is not financial advice, but I do think that SEI is going to be one of the top performing layer 1s in this current crypto cycle. I think that it is very reasonable to believe that SEI could get to around a $20 million market cap, and if that were the case, that would be about a 25x from here. However, guys, I do think that it is theoretically possible that this coin could get to as high as a $100 billion market cap. I'm not saying that that's necessarily my prediction for this cycle, because I do think that that is a bit too optimistic. However, we have seen plenty of other layer 1s like Solana, Cardano at one point, BNB, and Ethereum get to at least $100 billion market cap or much higher, and I do believe that SEI is competitive with those coins in many different aspects. We've also seen a lot of new builders building on top of SEI lately, which is of course incredibly bullish for the long term, so we'll just have to see how much hype this project really does have once the altcoin season kicks off next year at some point. And of course, I do recommend taking profits on the way up because nothing is guaranteed in crypto. And if you're watching my videos, guys, I'll let you know when I'm personally starting to take profits. But of course, as always, that is not financial advice, and please make sure that you do your own research and form your own opinions. But alright guys, do I think it is a good time to be buying SEI? I actually do think it is a fantastic time to be buying. As you can see, we are basically triple bottoming on this chart, and last time we got to these levels, which was in April of 2025, we had a bit of a V-shaped recovery back up to around a $2 billion market cap. So worst case scenario, I think that we could easily hit those levels. In fact, I think we could go much higher, and the reason for that is because we have so many positive liquidity events coming to the market in 2026. Just to name a few off the top of my head, we had quantitative easing start just a couple of days ago, and I do think that that is a lagging indicator, so I don't think we'll see effects of that until probably March or April of next year. However, that is fundamentally very bullish for these coins. We also have massive tax returns coming in April of next year, as everybody who's been receiving any sorts of tips or overtime pay, they'll be getting all of that back because none of that is taxed anymore. So we should be receiving some of the highest tax returns that we've ever received, which of course is bullish because the more money that retail traders have, the better it is for crypto. We also have $2,000 stimulus checks likely coming to the economy in June of 2026, and we also have a federal chair replacement coming sometime next year as well. So all of these things do do lead me to believe that we will have a blow off top phase for the altcoins that we have yet to see and that most people have been waiting a very long time for. Also guys, when you take a look at the crypto fear and greed index, we are currently sitting at a 24 out of 100. In my opinion, whenever everybody thinks that they're convinced that Bitcoin and crypto is going to continue to drop, that is, in my opinion, the best time to buy. Because almost always, when everybody is convinced that either the market is going to go up or down, the inverse ends up happening, and I don't believe that that will be any different this time around. And the last time we saw this much fear in the market, which was April of 2025, we had a very nice recovery for not just Bitcoin, but the overall altcoin space as well. And I do think that will likely be the same, and we will most likely have a bullish January or February of next year, and that could last for a couple of months or even potentially the entire year. But when we do get higher up on this fear and greed chart towards the extreme greed levels, I do think it is a great time to be taking profits, and that's what I will be doing personally. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but this does go to show how much liquidity is currently being poured into the market right now. And you can see here, while everybody is panic selling the dip, the US Treasury and Fed are quietly pouring $130 billion of fresh liquidity into the system. And as I mentioned earlier, liquidity leads price. It's not instant. There is a lag. The plumbing floods first and then the assets reprice. So I do think that that will happen, and that has always happened in the past. So in my opinion, it is very dangerous to counter trade this and actually be bearish right now. And that is what the majority of retail traders are. They are very bearish right now. And I think that that is the wrong decision. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is the fact that the Bitcoin short-term chart is actually looking very bearish. As you can see, we were holding an uptrend for about the past 2.5 weeks. And yesterday we did actually break that uptrend, which is very unfortunate to see. And we are currently trading at 86,000. As long as we can stay above our low at 84,500, it is still considered a higher low, which isn't the worst thing ever. It would have been nice, however, to have held this upwards trend line and broken past these two levels of resistance between 93,000 and 96,000, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And I do believe that the reason why that didn't happen is because of the FUD that's being spread about the Japanese rate hike decision. So all in all, guys, don't worry about the chart too much right now, because I do think that this is more of just a short-term concern. And in my opinion, we will be gaining bullish momentum back in the markets before you know it. So just make sure to stay strong, stay bullish, and ignore the FUD. In my opinion, that is going to lead you to success in this market. And overall, guys, if this market is getting to you mentally, I just recommend taking a step away from your computer. Stop watching the charts 24/7, although I know that is hard to do. I have my own problems with that as well. But yeah, just go and do something you enjoy for the next couple of weeks and just let the negativity subside, because I think that it will, as it always does. But alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, and I will be talking to you tomorrow. Peace.